home, or whatever, it's kind of it's our life. It's our life. And do we all have that community around us, those people that we really want? Are there people in our families that we would like to choose again? And maybe grow a different relationship with? I mean, a relationship, every year, we talked about this last year, that every year comes in like a baby and goes out like an old man. What if your relationship could get retired? And you could get a new Mario, press that reset button and start over. Have that conversation that basically says, we're not talking to each other, and that's not all right with me. I don't know who you are any longer. I don't know who I am where you're, in regards to you. I would really be interested in exploring that, because I'm looking around and I have a lot fewer friends that are walking on the face of the earth today than I did this time last year. I'd like to have this opportunity to say something new, to say something that creates this new great feeling between the two of us.
The spiritual pain is one of the biggest regrets on deathbeds. It's like conversations you didn't have, and people that you cut out or want to bring back in, or just an argument that you don't even remember how it started, kind of thing. So I think if everybody can just take a look at somebody that you just open the door, a little bit, and see if that's possible to regain a relationship that you thought was broken. Even if it's worth it, they could find out at least,
And you know what? Some are not worth it.
Right.
Sorry, guys. This is as good as it gets. And quite frankly, all you can ever know in today, in this moment right now, that next moment you're going to have, the one that you're having right now, the one that's now gone, okay? The only choice you can have is, how am I going to behave in this moment? If there's something that's incomplete for you, if there's some thought that you're having, something that's like a loose end, or it's almost like a piece of popcorn husk, that's trapped between your gum and your tooth and you can't get it out, you might want to take a little action on that and be willing to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
After all, for the most part, it's just words. And you can always say, this didn't work, and I apologize, if it was a bad experience for you too, not my intention. Whatever it is that you got to say, maybe you got to invent what you got to say on the spot. Maybe you got to be like this crazy ninja person who's just going in, and that person that you walked in as ain't coming out alive. You're going to deposit that person in place of the person that you now have chosen to become. I don't know. Does that sound crazy?
Nope.
Well, with that said, I believe this is episode 91, guys.
Awesome.
Who'd have thunk it, huh? So again, it's always a privilege and a pleasure to spend time with both of you and all of our listeners out there. We're getting used to you guys. We like you.
We'll keep them.
Yeah, we will keep them, won't we? And all of that said, every single week we say things, and those things are intended for you to have more joy and more balance in your day if you choose to do so. And I just want to leave you with one thought. If you are the architect, if you are the discoverer, if you are, what was the word that you used, Ken?
Navigator.
If you are the, all of that stuff, you can put that avatar on and you can say, look, I'm going to do a little experimentation here. Doesn't work out, I can always go back to being, old predictable me that I was before I started this thing. But you know what? What if it works out? whatever it is that you want to work out, what if it works out? Well, I want to leave you with one last thought. And that thought is, you got this. I know you do. You got this, okay? Anything else, Lisa?
Oh no, my only other thought was to have a conversation with somebody you've always wanted to have one with. Like I have an elderly cousin that she sends everybody cards, but I've never really sat and talked with her for a long time. So I'd like to do that. She's well into her 90s, so
yeah,
and still with it. So like have that conversation. If you're not brave enough to have the scary ones, have an easy one.
You need training wheels for a little while. Give yourself a shot of success.
Yeah.
Put the knife between your teeth and dive in. It's all good. I love it. Ken?
No, just building off of that, you can also have those conversations even after they've passed on. The opportunity isn't lost. Sometimes they're even more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially when you get answers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you often do. It's just interesting how that, in some way you will.
Now that's an idea for another podcast all by itself. But in the meantime, we do that with our listeners every week, don't we? Yeah. We have conversations with y'all, and we're talking to you in particular. Yes, you're the one. And with that said, that wraps us for this week, and thank you all. Keep finding us on any podcast platform that you like. We'll be there.
Have a good week.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Lighting the Candle, A World That Works, part of the Exvadio Podcast Network. You can catch us each week, as well as the rest of the network, at exvadio.com/podcasts, as well as the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Audible, Amazon Music, and wherever you find podcasts.